So today, lads, we're going to be reacting to the mock draft from Bleacher Report. And this is going to be the final Bleacher Report mock draft. Obviously, I have done my own. I have done a 2-round mock draft. And if you guys have not seen that, it will be on the channel. It's actually funny because I've not found... There is nowhere where you can find like a full 2-round mock draft. Obviously, there is the... Well, very recently anyway. Obviously, there's the Hunter Cruz video, which he released, where he's talking mostly about he's listing his prospects and not necessarily who's going to go where. And then you can't really find a 2-round mock draft online. It seems like, we go to number 12 and the WNBA stops according to all of these. So maybe, just maybe, the Bleacher Report and Rachel Galligan will have something. So first up, the most obvious choice, Paige Bueckers, and it's 1 of 12. Damn. But yeah, you know what? Like, Paige Bueckers obviously is going number 1. Safe pick. And at the end of the day, look, you're not going to take a project player at number 1 a lot of the time. Like, especially when there is an obvious number 1. Somebody who is going to come right in and I think average somewhere between 10 and 13 points. Somewhere between 2.5 and 4 assists. And same with rebounds. And play decent defense, shoot 35% from 3, 40, maybe 50% from the field, 35% from the 3, and like 85 to 90% from the free throw line, and just be that real good secondary, maybe tertiary offensive option, depending on what they do with Alyssa Smith. I just think her stats are going to be a little bit... I think statistically she's going to be a disappointment, but I don't think her play will be disappointing. I think statistically, because she is being compared to someone who averaged nearly 19, 9, and 6 last year. So statistically, she's going to be obviously nowhere near that, but doesn't mean that she's not going to be really good as a rookie. And the reason why statistically she's not going to be that is she plays with Arike Ogunbowale. And like, there is an extreme likelihood that she starts. There is no guarantee that Paige Bueckers starts. Like, Ty Harris is a good starting point guard in the W. And not that Paige will start by the end of the year. There's no guarantee she starts day 1. I would say it's an almost certainty that she starts day 1. Just like, to be fair, people might have made this same argument with Caitlin Clark. Erica Wheeler's a max contract player. But it's a weird one because of how good Ty Harris is in all of this deal. And like, as good as Ty Harris is, you've got her coming off the bench. But look, Paige should be starting. Like, let's be real, she should be, but you just never know. And apparently Paige Bueckers, the 5'10-ish Paige Bueckers is now 6'1". There is nowhere where Paige Bueckers has ever been listed as 6'1". If Paige Bueckers was 6'1", we'd be changing things. Dom Malonga going 2, yeah. Didn't move Malonga to number 2 spot strictly because Olivia Moss opted to stay. She was spot on 4. Yeah, I was like, in her last mock draft, Dom Malonga was, she was number 2. So I'm not going to say that. She was early on the Dominique Malonga hype train. To be fair, I was very much on the Dominique Malonga number 1 hype train for a while. I've been on the Dominique Malonga hype train for a long, long time. And in fairness, amongst the like WNBA media, like official platforms, in fairness, Rachel Galligan was very early on the Malonga hype. So when you take a close look at the Seattle Storm, there's no rookie that would start other than Sonia Citron. And if you use the number 2 pick on Sonia Citron as a GM, you should be fired. But like what Dominique Malonga does is just stupid. Like, this was obviously in a game. I don't know who this was against, but like, just how she plays is silly. Like, she's just so mobile. She can standing dunk with ease. Her post-up game is good. Her finishing is good. Her hands, she sometimes makes boneheaded moves. She can sometimes get kind of beaten with strength, but she doesn't actually have a flaw really in her game. She can shoot the 3 ball. Like, she literally has go potential. And I'm not joking when I say that. She literally has go potential. Sonia Citron at 3. So 1, 2, 3 is the same as mine. I think when it comes to Sonia Citron, she's a safe pick. She's a really safe pick. And I actually think there's a possibility the Mystics just pass on Citron, because the Mystics don't really need a safe pick. But she can actually play a bit of 1. She can defend. She can hit some jump shots. Like, I do think, you know what? 3 I don't mind it. I don't hate Sonia Citron at 3, to be honest, just because she's safest player available. And because they've got 3 picks in a row, it doesn't really matter who they draft 3, 4, or 6. And I think they're going to take Citron with one of those picks. So Citron, I think, is going to be Mystics no matter what. Then there is Kiki Iriafen. Okay, so I went with Aneesah Morrow instead of Kiki Iriafen, and I had Kiki Iriafen at 5. I'm guessing they got Aneesah Morrow at 5. I just don't believe in Kiki Iriafen. There's a lot of question marks around the direction of the Mystics. Iriafen is one of the most intriguing prospects with her 6'3" size, her explosiveness to paint, athleticism, and ceiling. But she regressed this year. I'm sorry, it's so hard to talk about someone's ceiling when they had a major regression. And I know on the stat sheet it wasn't, but a major regression. The problem is she's a center on offense and a small forward on defense. Like, that is the only problem with her. Her 36.8 outing on 16 and 22 shooting as Mississippi State in the tournament was a peak performance. But she then went and had 2 games in a row where one she had 8, one she had 10 points, shooting 25% or less from the field, missed 11 shots in a row in a loss against UConn, where if she had just hit some shots, it's a different game. But the Valkyries take Morrow. Okay, so the top 5 players are my top 5 players. Morrow's one of the biggest stock risers through the tournament, particularly because of her 30 point, 19 rebound, double-double. But, like, I've always had Morrow around this range. Like, I think the lowest I had ever had Morrow was 8. And that was just purely because of fit reasons. And obviously with the way players have traded, with the way free agencies have gone, I still think the Valkyries are going to take one of her, Kiki. The Valkyries should be hoping Morrow falls to them, because Morrow's way better than Kiki Iriafen. They should really be hoping for this. But, like, her motor is crazy. I genuinely just think I don't care that she's 2 inches shorter than Kiki. She's more aggressive. She's just better than Kiki Iriafen is at basketball. And I mean that. She's genuinely just better than Kiki. Shyanne Sellers going 6. Her knees don't. Look at the brace she's wearing. Her knees don't work. And by the way, if Shyanne Sellers' knees worked, you probably are looking at her as the 3rd pick. At this point, the Mystics have versatile post presence. They need a little bit of everything to find a franchise. The number 6 pick, it becomes best player available, filling multiple roles. I agree that Shyanne Sellers is best player available. Her knee doesn't work, though. So I think it is a very big risk taking somebody that high whose right knee does not work. But you're still going to take her. Okay, so they went with Georgia Amore. I went with Hailey Van Lith in this position. But, like, everybody kind of knows Connecticut Sun are going to take one of those 2. They don't have a point guard. They might take both. Like, they legitimately might just say, you know what, Lindsay Allen, can this just stop happening to my computer? Lindsay Allen is just not good enough to run the 1. And in fairness, Lindsay Allen, I really like her as a backup. They just need a starting point guard. And in fairness, it all just depends on what you need. Georgia Amore and Thing are very similar, her and Van Lith. I went with Van Lith here. Sun need everything, should consider adding a floor general. They can build the future. Georgia Amore is a true point guard. Can people stop saying the word true point guard? I hate that phrase. True point guard literally is a knock on. I mean this. I genuinely mean this. If someone's called a true point guard in today's game, unless you are a freaking Tyrese Halliburton, that is a knock on your game. Like, true point guard literally means projected to not be able to score. In the modern game of basketball, how many quote-unquote true point guards are there on good teams? We look at the NBA Finals last year. Like, we look at the WNBA Finals last year. You have Courtney Williams, combo guard, Sabrina Ionescu, combo guard. The 2 of them are combo guards. And you look at the team with a true point guard, Chelsea Gray, they got beaten in 4 in the semifinal. I'm trying to look at true point guards in the WNBA playoffs. The Atlanta Dream don't really have a true point guard. Jordan Cannon is a defensive specialist. The Phoenix Mercury, Tash Cloud. No. Caitlin Clark is not a true point guard. You've got... So that's the 3 team that lost. Who else lost in the playoffs? The Storm. Skylar Diggins. No. Isn't really true point guard. She's just short. Maybe you could argue Diggins. They lost first round still. 3 of the last 4 teams in the WNBA. If you look at the NBA, you've got in the finals, Luka Doncic, not a true point guard. Kyrie Irving, neither of them are true point guards, versus Boston Celtics. Drew Holiday is a defensive specialist. Derek White is not a true point guard. Peyton Pritchard off the bench is a spark plug. There is literally, outside of Chris, unless you are literally the top best of the best, if you are a true point guard, you are unlikely to succeed. And by the way, everyone talking about Chelsea Gray as a true point guard, if you watch back on 2022, everyone talking about Chelsea Gray, her 2022 playoff run, it was when she decided she was screw being a point guard, I'm chucking. And everything went in. True point guards in modern basketball is just not a thing. And then everyone talking about her 43 points. Like I'm just saying, Connecticut Sun taking Tuesday Jacita. If Jacita's on the board, they're going to take her. If not, they're going to take Sivka. They're going to send one player away. Or they're going to stash a player. And I actually like them having Jacita back as a backup. I don't even mind Georgia Amor. I just stand by the label true point guard means means no expectation to score the damn ball. But Jacita is I really like Jacita as a guard. She's big. She can score the ball quite well. A little bit turnover prone, which is a problem. And advanced IQ for her age, I agree, because she's been playing pro since she's been 14. Her first possession of EuroLeague, she was 14 years old, was guarding Dwana Bonner. Like, he was the best player on the floor, 4 WNBA players earlier on. Obviously, the injury she's gotten, she was meant to have been, like, she was pre-Paige Bueckers reclassifying. She was projected to be maybe the number 1 overall pick in this draft 3 years ago. So, yeah, it is what it is. I really like the Spark signing Saniya Rivers. Everyone's saying, oh, she's not going to play for that coach because she can't shoot. And I'm like, how many of these elite shooting teams just have your defensive specialist? You got your defense specialist. They need defense. Tenderling BPA. I don't actually think she is BPA. I think she's a fit. I think BPA right here is for BPA best player available. I think BPA is Hailey Van Lith. But I just think Saniya Rivers fits what the Sparks do, and Van Lith don't need Kelsey Plum, or Sparks don't need Kelsey Plum light when they already have Odyssey Sims on the bench. I do like Saniya Rivers though. She can play the 1, she can play 2, she can play 3. I really like Van Lith, this guy. I really like this one. I think she's going to go earlier. I really like the Van Lith pick to the Sky, because I think the Sky need whatever they can get off the bench. They got no scoring, and I'm sorry, she is better than modern Mariah Jefferson. Mariah Jefferson can run an offense. She can do a lot of things. I really like Hailey Van Lith. The only thing that I don't like with Van Lith, with the Sky, is she's not a dump it down to double bigs. Like, she's not a dump it into Angel or dump it into Camilla. And to be honest, if you should not pass the ball. If Angel Reese are back towards the basket, do not pass her the ball unless she's a mismatch. If you're a smart point guard, you're giving Angel Reese the ball on a seal. You're giving her the ball when she's got them under the basket and she just has to show up a hook shot. Her trying to make a post move, she's not there yet. But get her the ball on seals, and I don't think Van Lit's the right point guard to run with it if they're trying to run an offense for Angel Reese. I think she would be a good point guard with Cardoso, because she's a combo guard, she's a modern point guard. She can kind of create a bit of space and just get the ball to Cardoso in good positions. She can create that space for Cardoso. I do like the fit off the bench, but I would prefer her in like lineups with Beck Allen at the 4. And I think if you've got, let's just say there's a kind of bench-ish lineup, because you're never going to go 5 bench. But let's just say like Beck Allen at the 4, you've got Camilla or Angel at the 5, one or the other, and then you've spread around her. You've got, say, obviously Van Lit's there running the 1. You've got Ariel Atkins out there too. And you've got Anuere, who's a pretty decent shooter with Beck Allen. Like, that type of lineup I could see really working and being effective with Van Lith. Like, I don't see her being like an absolutely spectacular WNBA player. I think she'll be pretty good though. Biggest redemption story in college basketball, Van Lith took the country by storm at TCU. I agree. Stock rose more than anyone as she led TCU to his first Big 12 regular season championship, its first Big 12 tournament championship. Yeah, like, she was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And I actually do kind of like her going to the Sky. Although, ironically, I would prefer her to, I think her to the Sun and Georgia Amor to the Sky works out better for both teams. But the Lynx taking Sarah Ashley Barker. Okay, I was strongly considering this one. In my mock draft, I had Amor going down here just because I had Sivka in the first round. I don't mind Sarah Ashley Barker. Like, maybe this is like overhyping a tournament run, which sometimes works out well, as in a Kemba Walker, a CJ McCollum. Sometimes it can work out well, but sometimes overhyping a tournament run just is a disaster, like a Shabazz Napier as a Heat fan. But that, like, she is arguably best player available. Like they lose Zandalasini, and that's kind of the best case scenario is that she comes in with Zandalasini. Not the defend. She's nowhere near the defender Zandalasini is, but Zandalasini didn't really have to take on that many crazy defensive assignments. She took on a bit of a Caitlin Clark assignment. But when you've got K-Mac, you've got Bridget Carlton, you've got Courtney Williams as your 3 guards, you shouldn't really have to take on that much of a defensive assignment. And like Diamond Miller's there as well, whatever she does next season, she'll at least give back some of the shooting. She'll at least kind of make up some of the shooting they lose with Chechi. And then at 12, Serena Sundell. Yeah, I think everyone's mocking Serena Sundell at 12 right here. Good guard, big guard, going to be effective, good passer. The only thing is I don't see there being many minutes for her. Like Paige, I think Paige and Ty Harris are going to share the one. She's going to make the roster. I don't see her playing much as a rookie, to be honest, unless she really just becomes a lights out shooter. Because, yeah, I just don't see it. I really don't see it. But anyway, yeah, that is the mock draft. I actually don't mind this. I would have Aisha Sivka somewhere there. I'm trying to think, who did I not have in the first round? I'd say I had Ashley Barker going round 2. Other than that, it's my same first round. Exact same first round as me. I think the Sun, are going to stash one player, or they're going to take an international prospect. I think Jacite over Sellers. Like, they're both different risks in different ways. Like, Shyanne Sellers' right knee barely works. And at the minute, it might work out. And Jacite is a project because she's 19. So it'll be interesting. Long term, I'm betting on Jacite over Sellers. But that's just, again, my prediction. I could be wrong with that one. But I don't mind Sellers there. But yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. Really good mock draft. Don't mind it at all. And I wish the final mock draft, the final predictions, final March Madness had gone further than 12, because it would be interesting to see what she does with Isaiah James, where she would put Aisha Sivka, or whether it's she's someone who just doesn't really know much about Aisha Sivka and has her low, what she predicts the Fever to do, whether she thinks they're going to take like a Sultau or a Kosu, or whether they're going to go for like a glue player like a Sanaya Fagan or a Bree Hall. Like, that would be all interesting things. But overall, don't mind it for a first round mock draft. I'll see you guys.